Yo, what's cracking everyone? Airship 111 here, and today I'm excited to be showing you the brand new fastest car in Forza Horizon 4. Now, before I begin, I just want to say that I didn't find this myself. A person on Reddit with the gamer tag known as Void Solar actually showed a small clip of his Mosler going at 295 miles per hour on the motorway. Now, he does have a tune that you could download, however, after hours upon hours of self-tuning the Mosler, I managed to nearly replicate his tune, and in this video, I'll be showing you all the upgrades needed and how you can tune your Mosler so you can achieve nearly 300 miles per hour. Just quickly, before I do begin all of the upgrades and tuning guides, I just want to say that with the Mosler, one thing I particularly like about this car is that it is very easy to control. Now, for many of you guys who are returning subscribers, will have seen some of my other fastest car tunes, and you will know that the only car that can go full throttle around the entire motorway in Forza Horizon 4 is the Porsche 911 GT3 Pre-Order Edition. Every other car, such as the Koenigsegg CC8S, the Lamborghini Aventador, the McLaren F1, all were not able to go full throttle around the motorway. However, this Mosler can do the exact same thing as the Porsche GT3 Pre-Order Edition. As you can see right now with this run, I did butcher it a little bit in the beginning, but you can see that throughout the entire motorway, I am just going full throttle. Now, I'm not going at 300 miles per hour exactly. That's because there are some hills, undulations. However, it's a very easy car to control, which is why this car is the #1 fastest car in Forza Horizon 4, and it is much better than the Jaguar D-Type, as the Jaguar D-Type, as fast as you can go, you can barely control it. So let's get right into the upgrades. Alright, so we're in the upgrade shop right now. Now, as you can see, my Mosler is standing a little bit weird. That's because it's already been pre-tuned, pre-modified, but I'll go through all the upgrades anyway. So the first thing we want to do is go over to the conversion, and you want to do an engine swap with the 6.5 litre V12 engine from the Lamborghini Aventador. And then after that, you want to move over to the drivetrain swap to an all-wheel drive drivetrain. And then lastly, you want to increase the power by adding twin turbos. Then after that, you want to move over to the upgrade with the engine. So everything here that you see, I will be fully upgrading everything. Now, you may have seen in the past that some of my modifications to my fastest cars, I may not include a racing intercooler or an oil cooler. That's simply because the weight added onto the car as opposed to how much horsepower it gains is just not necessary. But this time we will be using it. So the car now has 1515 horsepower. Then after that, you want to move over to the brakes, platform, and handling. Racing brakes to make it as light as possible. Then you want to have rally springs, okay? As weird as that sounds, that's because it does shave a little bit of weight. And then, as you can see, there's a lot more height that you can play with. No roll cage. And then, of course, you want the lightest weight reduction possible. Now, with the clutch, I tried to replicate Void Solar's tune. And then one thing I did notice is that in terms of weight, he had at 2,570 pounds as opposed to 2,567. And one thing I knew was that he had a stock clutch on, and I'm just following what he did. I'm not sure if racing clutch is going to make any difference, but we'll stick with that for now. And then with the transmission, racing transmission, race driveline, and then a race differential. And then lastly, we're going to move over to the tire compound. The tires for me are completely stock. Now, you can have the Horizon race tire compounds. It's not going to make a difference. No drag tire compounds. It's simply not needed, and it'll decrease the amount of handling possible with the car. And then, of course, the front tires as wide as possible, and the rears are also as wide as possible. Now, in terms of rims, stock standard size, 19 inches in the front and 20 inches at the back, basically stock. And then with the track width, you want to have both front and back as wide as possible. Alright, so now that you have got everything upgraded, we'll now move over to the tuning side, which is the most important part of this video. Okay, so here we are. We're in the tuning section. Now, just a disclaimer, what you see on the left-hand side with all the performance figures, the acceleration and speed, what I learned tuning this Mosler is to not always use that top speed, theoretical top speed or whatever as gospel. Sometimes they aren't as accurate as they seem. And if you guys stay tuned to the very end of this video, I'll show you guys a different tune, how I would have done it, and then you'll see that the top speed will be slower as well. But anyways, for now, with the tire pressure, I have set both of them to 30. Usually for many of my top speed tunes, I would drop them down to 15 PSI, both the front and rear. But for this one, I've kept it on 30 simply because it has worked out in terms of going so fast. So that's why I've stuck with the 30 PSI. And then with the gearing, this is the gearing. Now with the final drive, I've got it at 2.64, and then the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, you can see that they're geared pretty nicely. So every time you shift, there seems to be more power, and the gear ratios seem to be a little bit shorter, allowing the car to gain the horsepower and the torque, and then also achieving the top speed as well. Now with the alignment, the camber, I have got them both to 0, front and rear. Toe, you want it to be both at 0 degrees, and then with the front caster, I've only got it set at 1 degree. With the anti-roll bars, I've put them both to as stiff as possible at 65, and then the springs. Now this is very important as well. With the front springs, I've put them to relatively right in the middle, in between soft and stiff, and then with the rear, you want it to be as soft as possible. Of course, with the ride height, you want the front to be as high as possible, and then the rear to be as low as possible. This will allow you to get that catapult effect when you are going at top speed. That's why you can see the car digging into the ground and sparking. And then with the damping, this is also very important as well. The front damping, I've set it to 5.8. The rear, I've set it to 4.1. Now, you want it to be at these exact figures because this not only improves the handling and grip, but it also allows the car to lift off a little bit, allowing to gain a little bit more speed than the theoretical top speed that is shown in the performance figures. And then with the front, with bump stiffness, I've set the front to 9.5 and then the rear at 4.4. Now, we move over to the aero. Both the front and rear are both completely fully adjustable, and all you have to do is move them to the very left side so that it has the least downforce as possible. Brakes, I didn't even touch them because we won't be using brakes. And then the differential, I've just locked the diff with the balance 75% sent to the rear. Now this may help with a little bit of acceleration, reaching from 0 to 60 and 0 to 100, but it's not that big of a deal when you're doing a top speed run. So there we have it, guys. This took me hours upon hours, like I said earlier, to actually figure out to get 295 miles per hour on the Mosler. So I'll show you one live run, and then after that I'll show you how I would normally tune it, and then you can see the difference between a 295 mile per hour tune as opposed to something that you just follow off based on the theoretical performance. Alright, here we are. We're about to hit the motorway. One live run to see how fast I can achieve with this Mosler. Hopefully I can hit 295. It's pretty hard. I have done it before, but when I did it, I wasn't recording. So the closest I've been while the capture card is on was 294 miles per hour. Alright, here we go. It's at night time and I can't really see anything. Oh no. 290. Barely moved the thumbstick. 292. 3. No, I only got to hit 293. Oh well. As you can see, over 290 miles per hour is very easily achievable. Alright, just before we wrap up this video, this is a tune as to how I would have done a top speed tune with the Mosler if I was basing everything on the theoretical performance. So right now you can see the top speed is at 281.8 miles per hour. The gearing is slightly bit different, but of course the spring setup, the damping, the aero, the differential, they're all slightly different, but of course this time I am basing it just on the theoretical performance. So it should hit 281 miles per hour, But can it hit 295 is the question, okay? It is a little bit wet, but let's see. I'm going full blast here. I'm not trying to change any of my settings. So right now, I'm hitting 270, which isn't too bad. 277, 278, 281, 283, 284. And that's it. I can't go any faster than that, guys. So there we have it. It does take a little bit of time to tune the Mosler, but you guys have the formula now. You can do whatever you want with it. Try to make it 300 miles per hour. So, if you guys did find this video helpful and is excited to try out the new fastest car in Forza Horizon 4, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. And also, if you would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.